Hey MGTOWs, this is Vention. I recently got a couple of comments on my recent videos about how the Cambodia trip did not go well. I think a couple of them were saying like wuss or something like that, and a couple others are saying like this MGTOW Shay Morpheus was saying, Vention, you're developing a defeatist attitude. Snap out of it, and I explained it to him in the comments, but I figured maybe I would like share my insight with you here as well. What happened is, the videos that I filmed over there when I was not at my best and where I was just overwhelmed by the whole crazy, insane culture over there, and I had serious culture shock, and that is like a real thing, right? And it was a real thing. I had a couple of $1,000 in cash, several thousand more in the checking account, a couple of credit cards, dudes. I could have gone hog wild in that place, right? But the problem, the money isn't everything. The problem was right up here. And it's important, I believe, to tell it like it is, right? If I go over there and I was having not a good time, and if I just didn't film any of that or didn't share any of that, that would have been a disservice to my subscribers and my MGTOW brothers here, because they might have done the same thing I did, right? They might have gone over there and then suddenly had a bad time just like I did, right? Now, it would have been a lot better, if I had known about this culture shock, and then if I could have planned for it a lot better, because man, when I was over there in it, and I was sitting there nauseated and peeing out of my ass and massive diarrhea, cramps in my stomach, and I had that horrible shoulder injury from when I had that horrible jet lag and I fell on my face off this little platform in the hotel. Man, in an aside, there's like a spiral staircase in that hotel, and then the thing stopped at this little platform of raised, it was like a big patio thing, and it was like raised 2 feet higher than the surrounding patio, and it was paved with the exact same pavers, and it was the exact same color, and it just really blended in. And then my jet lagged senses didn't pick up the fact that I was 2 feet up off of the main patio, and then I stepped right off it and freaking fell on my face. If I wasn't jet lagged, that wouldn't have happened. But man, I advise anybody who's going anywhere like that, if they're jet lagged, just go straight to bed. Don't pass go. Don't collect $200. Just go straight to bed. Wake up, because you're a danger to yourself if you walk around. It's like you're seriously drunk. So that's one lesson I would like to impart. And the other is, and as I was sitting there in that place with diarrhea and that painfully wrenched shoulder and massive culture shock, the whole thing just seemed like it wasn't worth it anymore. But if I had planned ahead, right? I mean, I really knew I should get out of Phnom Penh, right? And go to one of those other places like Kampot or Siem Reap or something. I didn't know, I had no clue where the bus station is. I had no clue how to get there. And arranging for lodging up there and like wherever I was going, and I didn't know anything or anyone. So I didn't have enough drive to sort of power my way through that whole that whole thing, right? Especially with the freaking diarrhea. That was a real downer. So in any case, the reason I was making those videos and detailing how serious this culture shock could be is so that future MGTOW who happen to watch these videos can see what it was like and plan for it, right? And if you're going to a crazy foreign land like that, all I can recommend is arrange everything as much as you can ahead of schedule. This is where you're going. This is how you're getting there. And once you're there and you relax and recover from the jet lag, then you get on then you do the transportation and get to the destination and have activities set up and ready to go. And then, you're going to be, I would have been in much better shape. But man, as it was, I was not at my best. And if I had to and I was trying to have enough drive to arrange all that stuff. And then finally I just said, all I want to do is just go the fuck home. And so you've got to plan for that sort of thing. If you're going to a place like that, you got to set up everything in advance. Plan everything, because you will be stressed. Your resilience that you normally have in the day-to-day life, your normal creativity, your normal abilities will be hindered and not really maybe crippled. So it's important to plan for that, and then you will be much better off. Then you might turn a failed vacation into a good vacation. So that's the reason for sharing these videos. Yes, it makes me look less awesome or stellar or whatever, but it's important to tell people how it really is. This is not a story, this is reality. So it's important to let everybody know exactly how bad things can screw up. Well, I mean, we do that about marriage and divorce court and all that. It's just the same thing. If we don't really know the facts, then how can you plan for it? So it's important for those of us who have encountered useful facts to share those facts and help our brothers. Otherwise, we're just throwing them under the bus, and I'm not going to do that. So, well, that's about it that I wanted to say about the vacation. And well, I'm home in my environment, and I realize now how much more comfortable I am with my usual routine. And when I'm out of the house and everything, I'm always armed. Basically, I keep this little Ruger LCP 380 in my pocket. Little laser sight and everything, and it's always in my pocket, just like a second wallet, right? And it basically adds to your own personal security, and it adds to the security of everyone around you. Basically, if you are disarmed, however, like when MGTOW Expat was talking about those dogs, that sometimes the dogs will just see you and then rush up and then bite you, with no warning at all. He was talking about that. And if I were just me over there, I mean, I could beat him off, gouge him in the eyes, that sort of thing. But basically here, I would just pull my pistol and shoot a couple of rounds into him. Done, I'd have to pay a ticket. I'm not sure how much the fine is for discharging a firearm in city limits, but basically it's a real problem solver to have a pistol on you at all times. It's perfectly legal, and it's I think it's a very important thing to have. And I really missed it when I was over in Cambodia. I have never ever drawn the pistol in at, you know, I never had a need to it, and I've been carrying it for about 7 or 8 years, maybe close to 10 years now. But it's always there if I need it. So, and then of course all my other guns and preps and my house and everything, my vehicles, it's all here, and man, it's pretty awesome. And my, even though I might not need to work much longer, my magic number for Bitcoins is about 20 grand, right? If we reach 20 grand, plus the fact that the house is paid off, and I have this really pretty frugal attitude, you know, I don't spend a lot of money needlessly. So that amount of money divided between now and when I'm 90 is enough. I mean, it's not a huge, a lot of people couldn't survive on it, but I'm very comfortable on it. Like with my diesel mechanic wages, I only spend about 30% of those wages. Everything else just goes into savings. So it's, you know, I'm very, very comfortable here, and it would be kind of hard to move to a place where I was, you know, legally disarmed, you know. That would not be an easy thing for me. So I think for the time being, I'll just work another year, you know, either a year or until Bitcoin's hit about 20 grand, right? Then I'll just possibly buy a house way out in the sticks, sort of southwestern Washington. There's some really rural areas out there that are like 10 minutes from a boat launch, where you could have a little sailboat or something and have a big huge garden. Dudes, I think I could deal with that. You know, you could ride your bike everywhere because there's very little traffic. It's very, very tempting. Although I do like my job, and I like every one of my coworkers. I don't know of any of my coworkers that I don't like, who are currently working with me on my shift at my shop, right? There are other people on other shifts, maybe not so much. And there's a neighboring shop, there's a couple I'm not terribly fond of. But on my shift, shit, I'm great. In fact, 3 of them now have each independently discovered my MGTOW channel. And and they're not sharing it around or making fun of it or anything. Probably because I've made my beliefs and my findings about marriage very much public. But a friend of mine, I guess we could call him Sean. Hey, if you're watching this, Sean, thank you very much for the MGTOW stickers. I haven't stuck them on my car yet, but I'm going to. How cool is that, man? He doesn't say a word about the channel until he says, man, I found your channel, it's great, and he bought me these. Oh, that's awesome. So, that's what I think I'll do. I might vacation next time. I think I'll probably try Thailand. Although I heard that Miggy and Chris might not be there much longer, but I still might try it anyway. Any place I'd go, though, I would very much prefer to have contacts, boots on the ground, fellow MGTOWers who are right there, who can give me a few pointers about the place. So, yeah, and the more of that I have, the more likely I am to enjoy my vacation. So, let's see. Other than that, so yeah, I might take vacations over there, but I probably won't retire over there unless Bitcoins just never get back to 20 grand, right? If they just stick around where they are, 11,000 or so. By this time next year, I'll probably take another vacation, and then I would probably end up retiring overseas. But I don't believe that's going to happen. I'm fully confident that the Bitcoin price is going to rocket past 20 grand and probably end up at about $45,000 or $50,000 by the end of the year. That is my prediction. this does not constitute financial advice. So that's about it, guys. That is why I shared these less than positive, happy videos, and it's important to let that information get out so that people can benefit from it. And my plans, I do love being armed. You know, it's tremendous. It's a tremendous responsibility, and it's a tremendous addition to my safety to have the ability, if some freaking Rottweiler charges and bites, latches onto my leg, it's important to be able to pull a gun and shoot the fucker. So, and then my plans to retire are probably going to be delayed until Bitcoins hit 20 grand again. So, but once they do hit 20 grand, I see no reason to keep working. Okay, guys, I think I'll let you go. And don't get married.